Welcome to eXtremeRate channel. In this video, we will show you how to install the new version WHOLE Clicky kit for the PS5 controller, model BDM-030. The new WHOLE Clicky kit is designed to enhance your gaming experience by providing ultra-responsive button clicks and an upgraded feel for your PS5 controller. With the WHOLE Clicky kit installed, you'll be ready to conquer any game, from action-packed shooters to intense fighting games. Now get ready to elevate your gameplay and feel the difference with every click. First, let's remove both shoulder buttons and the front cover. Use the spudger to pry out the buttons and set them aside. And stick the flat end into both corners and lift up the clips along the edge. Remove the cover and set it aside. Remove the screws at both shoulder button places. And remove the two at the bottom of both grips. Use an amount of force to create a little gap between front and back housing, and use the spudger to undo the tiny locking tabs. Then pry along the gaps to release the clips of the housing. Detach the back shell and put it aside. Unplug the cable and remove the battery. And remove the back microphone off the bracket. Now remove the 3 screws locking the middle assembly. Remove the bracket. Unplug the front microphone cable, both adaptive trigger ribbons and the touchpad ribbon. Then grab the whole middle assembly and detach it from the front plate. Now let's deal with the wires. Please note, cutting the wires will disable the trigger effects and prevent unwanted vibrations and rattling noise, giving you a smoother, more consistent gaming experience with the clicky triggers. Use the cutting tool and carefully cut off the green and yellow wires on both sides. Next, take hold of these 2 wires together and be ready to wrap them with tape as a single unit. Use the black tape provided in the kit to wrap around the yellow and green wires, keeping them together as a single unit. Repeat the process on the other side by using the black tape provided in the kit to wrap the yellow and green wires together. Make sure they're securely bound. Next, place the taped wires from both sides neatly into the grooves within the frame. Ensure they fit securely in the gaps to keep the setup organized and prevent any interference with other components. Now organize the wires and get ready for the next step. Loosen the screws securing the trigger mechanism on both sides. Place your fingertip under the edge of the trigger cover, finding for a leverage point and applying light pressure to lift the cover. remove the trigger actuator and the pin locking the trigger. And remove the A2 button. Next, repeat the same steps on the other side, carefully removing the trigger cover, trigger actuator, the locking pin, and the A1 button separately. Lift and remove the shoulder silicone pads on each side. Gently lift the conductive circuit board from each shoulder area of the controller, carefully raising it from both sides to avoid any damage. Then from the front side, carefully detach the circuit board from the frame. Next, loosen the main board, carefully flip it over, and gently remove the circuit board contact pads from their fixed position. Grab the whole set mouse click circuit board and position it carefully onto the frame. To secure it on the frame, first thread the contact pads through the slit and position them in the designated spot. Then, use the 2 alignment posts to hold it firmly in place. Then return to the front side, align the circuit board with the mounting tabs, and snap it into place, securing it firmly onto the frame. Flip the main board back into place, align it carefully, and press down to secure it firmly onto the positioning posts on both sides. Please ensure the speaker is positioned correctly here. To ensure a smooth installation process, we can use tape to temporarily secure the main board to the frame, preventing it from slipping or falling out. Now let's install the Circuit FPC onto the shoulder and trigger areas. First, position the shoulder part into the slot and place it securely in the shoulder place. Adjust the position to ensure the shoulder FPC is properly aligned and securely placed. Then repeat the same steps to install the shoulder FPC on the other side. And adjust the position to ensure the shoulder FPC is properly aligned and securely placed. Next, install the trigger FPC. Position the right trigger FPC onto the platform of the right bracket provided in the kit, and press down firmly until it clips securely into place. Then carefully trim the plastic trigger components from the parts frame, ensuring they are cleanly separated. Follow the guide to insert the component into the designated button slots of the right trigger to create a functional assembly. Reinstall the trigger and lock the pin in place to secure it. Then align the cover with the trigger module, press it down to snap into place, and ensure the FPC is positioned below the trigger for proper functionality. Secure the bracket cover with 2 screws in the designated holes. Now position the left trigger FPC onto the platform of the left bracket provided in the kit, and press down firmly until it clips securely into place. Insert the component and snap it down into the designated button slots of the left trigger. Reinstall the trigger and lock the pin in place to secure it. Align the cover with the trigger module, press it down to snap into place, and ensure the FPC is positioned below the trigger for proper functionality. Secure the 2 screws on the bracket cover. Since the adaptive trigger is no longer needed, we can use tape to securely attach both trigger ribbons onto the bracket without interfering with the subsequent installation. After securely taping the ribbons, let's proceed to replace the button pads with those provided in the kit. First, remove the stock rubber pads on the action buttons and the D-pad. Next, install the replacement pad for the action buttons. Align it with the grooves and press firmly to secure it in place. Ensure that the edges of the pads are fully seated and snapped onto the raised plastic guides. Then install the replacement pad for the D-pad. Align it with the grooves and press firmly to secure it in place. And ensure that the edges of the pads are fully seated and snapped onto the raised plastic guides. Now we can remove the tapes that secure the motherboard. Next, align the midframe with the front shell of the controller and assemble them together, making sure not to pinch any ribbon cables. Press down to secure the mainboard onto the alignment posts. Reconnect the touchpad and mic ribbons to the motherboard. Put the bracket tray back into place and lock the screws. Place the microphone back into the slot on top of the bracket. Connect the battery cable and place the battery back into its compartment. Then align the bottom shell with the controller and press it in until it clicks into place. Secure the screws at the shoulder buttons and the bottom grips. Next, cut the shoulder button plugs from the parts frame. Ensure the trimmed parts are precisely cut to fit perfectly. Then insert the two pieces into the holes in the middle of each shoulder button to ensure proper functionality. Press firmly to snap them fully into place. After installing the pieces, snap both shoulder buttons back into the controller. In the last, put back the front trim cover to finish the installation. Thanks for watching the video. Happy customizing and enjoy modding journey with eXtremeRate.